what is the derivative of it? So again, we'll go for let small change in x be delta x. Corresponding change in y be delta y. The corresponding change in y be delta y. Then we'll go for the similar method of solving. So earlier this is exponential. What we do is the exponential, we'll write it as e to power of x, e to power of delta x. So let me take the y common. 1 plus delta y is equal to e to power of x, e to power of plus or minus delta x. This y and e to power of x will cancel out. I'll end up with 1 plus or minus delta y, e to power of plus or minus delta x. So let's go for expansion. What is the expansion of e to power of this one? 1 plus or minus delta x by 1 factorial. This will be delta x whole square by 2 factorial, delta x cube by 3 factorial, and so on. Let limit delta x tends to 0. Let delta x tends to 0, or we'll put it limit delta x tends 0. Then delta x square will be 0. Delta x cube will be 0. They'll be very small, negligible. So I'll end up with even that one also get cancels. So we'll end up with plus or minus limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by y plus or minus delta x. So limit delta x tends to delta y by that. This will become dy by dx. So dy by dx is equal to, what is y equal to? E to power of x. You can ask question like, so if you differentiate again, you are getting same. You differentiate again, you get the same function. So what it signifies? What is the meaning of this? Something, no, like if you differentiate, it should change, no? Some x square you differentiate, it will become 2x. But if you differentiate e to power of x, again you are getting e to power of x. See, what actually dy by dx means? Slope, no? So here I'll say that. So you do one thing. At x equal to 1, calculate the value of y. At x equal to 1, what is the value of y? Will be e. Please, all of you have to make observation here. This is something very important. At x equal to 1, what is the value of y? It is equal to e. Similarly, at x equal to 1 in the dy by dx graph, the value of dy by dx also will be e. And not only this, everywhere. I just gave one example. Not only this, like you calculate here the slope. What it is equal to e to power of x only. I just gave one example, so it will be easy for you. What you calculate slope at x equal to 1 in this curve, it is going to have the same value. And what is this? How you plot this graph? I'll calculate the slope. The slope varies again exponentially. There's an interpretation. Graphical, there's like using graph is what I'm trying to interpret here. There's a mathematical. Means you produce small change in x, there'll be corresponding change in y. The change in the infinitesimal change in y to infinitesimal change in x, again the ratio of that again will be similar to exponential only, is what you mean to say here. Let me take the next function. Y equal to log x to the base c. Logarithm function. So this, let small change in x be delta x, then the corresponding change in y be delta y. Then let me take this as again the same. For first we'll do one thing. X, let me take common. So then this will become 1 plus or minus delta x by x. Okay, this will become y is equal to so this is a log a plus log b. This will become one term. This will become another term. Log ab, what you can write? Log a plus log b. Then here, okay, I think I should not take here. Let it be as it is. This some symbol. Let it be as it is. So now I can cancel out y equal to log ex. So this will become plus or minus delta y is equal to log e 1 plus or minus delta x by x. Delta x tends to 0. If delta x is very small from binomial expansion, it will be plus or minus delta x by x, delta x by x whole square by 2 factorial, delta x by x whole cube by 3 factorial, and so on. As delta x tends to 0, so delta x square 0, higher order terms will become negligible. So then this will become plus or minus delta y is equal to delta x by x. So this will become delta y by delta x equal to limit delta x tends to 0, limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x should be equal to plus or minus 1 by x. So this will become dy by dx. So derivative of log x will be 1 by x. What does it mean? You have this curve. You have a curve. Log x, log 1 to the base should be 0. The logarithm function, you calculate slope. Sir, what do you mean by slope? We are not understanding. Here, this one. Do I tangent? Calculate theta. Angle may be tangent x-axis. Tan theta of that is what slope? How that slope? The slope varies like this. So will this be y? No, it should be dy by dx, this curve. How the slope? Slope will be rectangular hyperbola. Is what he's saying. Let me go for this one. Y equal to sin x. Here I'll go for some other approach. This way, what is again meaning of this is what we are trying to stress it. Yeah, I'll write it here. Let small change in x be delta x, corresponding change in y be delta y. Then let's expand sine a plus b formula, sine x cos delta x plus or minus cos x sine delta x. Then if delta x is very small, delta x tends to 0 or delta x is 0, then cos delta x sin x will become x. Sorry, sin delta x. If delta x is very small, cos delta x will be 1, sin delta x will become delta x. Sin theta, theta very small, sin theta will become theta. Then y plus or minus delta y is equal to sin x into 1 plus or minus cos x delta x. Y and sin x will get cancelled. So plus or minus delta y is equal to plus or minus cos x delta x. So limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x equal to cos x. So this will become dy by dx. So there's a meaning. So what do you mean by that? The derivative of sin x is what? Cos x. So we are not understanding. This is sin x graph. And what is this? This is a cos x graph. How do this slope of this curve varies? Some problem with there with a digital pen. Yeah. No, let's calculate slope. Slope here is maximum, slope 0. At x equal to pi by 2, slope 0. So at x equal to pi by 10, what is the slope? Is nothing but cos x, no? And at cos pi by 2, slope should be 0. Slope is 0. And here it is maximum. Then till here from 0 to pi by 2, slope is positive. Then afterwards, slope is negative. You can see that slope is negative. Then again it is 0. At pi what when the slope is maximum. At 3 pi by 2, again you used to come for check it. I didn't draw up to the scale. Here slope is 0. Again slope is 0. So therefore, if you calculate the slope of this cursor, I'm not understanding what do you mean by slope. Okay, draw one line. Can't you draw like this? There's a meaning of slope, no? Look at the slope at various points. Look at the slope at various points. Various point, the slope, here slope positive, slope negative, again negative, 0, positive. So positive slope decreases, become 0. Negative slope increases, becomes maximum. Negative slope decreases, become 0. Similar to the cos graph. So derivative of sin x is how much? Cos x. Similarly, sir, like a derivative of cos x, the derivative of cos x will be minus of sin x. Again, in the cos x graph, if you calculate slope, it will vary. The slope will vary like a sinusoidal, negative of sinusoidal. So therefore, the derivative of cos x will be sin x. Next, we'll go for chain rule. If you have like this, the function. If you have a function y equal to sine of ax, so here you do one thing, just write it as sine alpha, where alpha is equal to how much? Ax, where alpha is equal to, it will become ax. So then I'll differentiate dy is equal to derivative of sine alpha will be cos alpha d alpha. Then this will become dy equal to cos alpha derivative of ax. cos alpha, derivative of this will become a dx. So dy by dx equal to a cos alpha. Further, let me substitute what is the value of alpha, ax. Able to understand now? Now, similarly, y equal to sine square x is there. First, you are going to, or you do one thing, right? Let p equal to sine x. Then y equal to p square will become, will differentiate dy is equal to 2 into p to the power of 2 minus 1 into derivative of p, dy equal to 2p dp. dp is, what is the value of p? P is how much? Sin x. Derivative of sin x, cos x dx. So dy by dx equal to 2p cos x. Dy by dx equal to value of p, sin x cos x. So this will become sin 2x. Sine of x square. Sine of x square. Let me show it here. I need some space. All this you are going to explore more in mathematics, and just only in the physics aspect is what we are trying to analyze. Y is equal to sine of x squared. So this will become dy is equal to derivative of this function will be cos x square derivative of x square. This will become cos of x square 2x dx. So therefore dy by